Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, episode 10.
Episode
Mauricio.
10. This is a big deal.
I'm back.
Janet.
Everybody remember that
What's
guy over
up?
there?
I have to come back after some guy was accusing me of
I threw some shade. We're
doing
gonna
something shady. So
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Your
Blue belt
fear
curse.
of rolling with me. We'll discuss that.
No
We'll
problem.
discuss it. We might introduce some hypnosis into this episode, so
Okay.
you can get your true feelings out.
Talk about the blue belt curse.
the blue belt
Yeah.
curse.
Right
Ooh.
there, guys.
Almost.
So episode 10, we've come a long way. We started in May. So this has been really cool. We have a lot of things going on, so bear with us. Got a lot of things to announce and tell you guys and things that you can get involved
A lot
with.
of good stuff.
Lots of good stuff, man. Lots of good stuff.
To me, this is
Um,
amazing because I think I was one of the first person that Milton actually
Yeah.
say something about it.
Yeah.
I remember when this was just an idea, and he was talking to me about it. He was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this podcast. What do you think?" And I was like, "I'm in. Let me help."
What did you really think though when you got in your car and drove away? Were you like, yeah, never gonna happen?
This
Well,
guy's
what-
fucking nuts.
Yeah, really.
At first, to be honest, because I know you, like Milton, when he put his mind into something, he's very like peculiar, in a good way,
I'm gonna do it.
So I don't know. I thought like we can definitely gonna have some fun doing,
Mhm.
and if it pays off somehow, and then it pays off somehow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's paid off. Look, we've I want to say this without throwing shade on any other podcast, but we've, for a group that when we rotate a little bit here and there with guests and people on the show, I like to call it a jiu-jitsu roundtable. That's what we've kind of
for a
titled
bunch
this.
of dummies.
For a bunch of dummies,
dummies.
who aren't famous in this world, but just maybe are a little opinionated or would love talking
Would
about
like to
jiu-jitsu.
think so.
We're doing really, really well. When you look at just the numbers of views that we get on YouTube alone, because it's very public, anybody can look at them, the thousands of people that are watching us versus some of the podcasts that are out.
Yeah, but don't just view, right? Don't just view. Like.
Don't just view, like,
Subscribe,
let's see,
right,
like how
leave
you
a
bring it up.
comment.
And
Yeah.
subscribe.
He's
Don't
learning.
forget subscribe.
Yes, and we're going to do another contest. So let's that'll be the first thing we'll talk about. I actually forgot to write that down. So what have we been doing on YouTube? Like, comment,
Subscribe.
and subscribe to the channel.
It gives you the opportunity to win.
We're doing a $50 coupon code from Choke Responsibly, which is now actually the jujitsudummies.shop. Or the podcast store. So it's jujitsudummies.shop. Let's give the history of this. Got so many things to talk about. Just so everybody knows, I own Choke Responsibly.
Oh, man.
It was.
Oh, man.
It's not, the
coming
cat's
out,
out.
it's coming.
It was,
It's out.
it was our first sponsor. I'm the sponsor. I'm the guy. I love doing t-shirts. I've been doing t-shirts since 2003. Some form of funny t-shirts, MMA, and we landed on Choke Responsibly. The podcast is doing better than the t-shirts. So in an effort to not necessarily be competitive with sponsors, apparel sponsors, and guys that are doing stuff with us, we're going to take a step back with Choke Responsibly. We're just making it the podcast store. So if you want our stuff, it's there. If you want old Choke Responsibly stuff, it's still there. We'll probably still put out stuff because I love the Choke Responsibly, like the theme, Choke
Yeah, for sure.
Responsibly, Choke
Funny
Responsibly.
stuff.
Love that. So we're still probably going to be putting out a shirt here or there, but the shirts are going to be a little bit more geared towards the show and Jiu-Jitsu Dummies, and maybe even things like Team Wash Your Belt and stuff like that.
I want is my free mug.
Secretly.
That's
So
That's
you
a good idea.
You,
Hey,
you gotten a mug?
secretly?
Have you gotten a mug?
yeah, but I want another one.
Okay. Oh, you want another one?
I got an idea for a shirt.
So you
Secretly,
coupon
I
code
don't wash my
dummies.
belt. Keep talking over me because you want to hide that.
What do you got? What?
Secretly, I don't wash my belt. That's a t-shirt. I want that.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing there. So Junior's tried to out me. Junior's tried to out me as a non-belt washer. That's not the case. I do wash my belts.
Wink,
maybe I don't
Liars.
wash it every time I train. I wash it every
There
few
we go,
times.
there we go.
I put it to dry.
Liars.
Anyway,
He takes a shower with it.
so Choke Responsibly is now jujitsudummies.shop. You can find it on the shop tab when you go to jujitsudummies.com. Just click on shop and it brings you over.
Take a picture of your rash guard. Take a picture of your
Yeah.
gear.
Oh, anything that we send you, anything that you
Yeah.
buy, shout us out, tag us on social media. That's a
wanna see
given.
that stuff?
I always love that. I definitely love giving stuff away, and it goes into almost everything else that we're going to talk about here today. But for our website, it's Dummies Pod 10. We just usually Dummies Pod, and then we match it up with the episode number. Last episode, you said Dummies 9, so I actually activated both coupon codes, Dummies 9 and Dummies Pod 9. So just in case anybody got confused. So we appreciate your support. Again, that money goes directly into the podcast. All that money is being used for what you see here. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, before we get into our other sponsors, we've done something really interesting, right? We've always talked about the podcast the podcast patrons, and you were able to go on to jiu-jitsu-dummies.com and click on patron or sponsor, and it brought you to a page where you can right on the site. Well, we're now using the Patreon system, patreon.com. It's what they do. As we grow, it allow us to put out content, and it just be available. Like we could put out certain things just for patrons.
Perfect.
If you're,
Perfect.
sponsoring the show, think of it like that. You're sponsoring the show. You're basically pledging as little as $5 a month. You're going to be paying that each month, and you're going to get some cool stuff. What we decided to do to start is to do a raffle every single month.
Nice.
So we're going to, at minimum, it will be $100 worth of jiu-jitsu related products, either CBD that you see on the table there, our new sponsor, Barebone Recovery Gel, which we're going to get into. We'll give them a proper shout out. Things like that, recovery products. We can just go online and I can send you something from Amazon. We're going to give away, whether it's a gi or a sponsor product, stuff from Choke Responsibly and the
really
Jiu-Jitsu Podcast Store. We're going to give away at least $100, and it's essentially a raffle, and it's going to come from the podcast patron system. So if you're on Patreon, it's something along the lines of, right, so every $5 you pledge, you've got 5 raffle tickets, right? We've all bought raffle tickets from family members and kids and soccer teams and all that stuff. Think of it like that. Every $5 you get a raffle. We'll use an electronic system where everybody's name is going to be in there. You'll have X amount of raffles, whatever you're giving, and you're going to have a chance to win. We're also going to be using the podcast patrons if you are involved with that raffle system. We're also going to, and we're going to be talking about the foundation and what we're doing, the scholarships that we're going to be putting out. We're also going to let those patrons also vote. They're going to have a vote in who we choose, who we award a 1-year jiu-jitsu scholarship to. And that brings us to the next thing. So we started a foundation.
Foundation time.
Hey.
Foundation.
Wait. There we go. So we actually started a foundation. We are registered with the federal government. We're registered
legit.
with
We're
legit. This is
Holy
not
smokes. This is not a scam. People.
This is not a scam.
Legit.
By the
Look
way,
this up.
somebody run a timer for me. Do you want to run a timer?
Yep.
Yeah. So, because I'll just talk forever. No, so just run a timer for the show, please. So we are registered with the state. We're registered as a nonprofit, and we are going to start raising money that we're just going to give right back to the jiu-jitsu community. So I don't want to make I want to make the distinction that the podcast patron system is one thing. Those people that give us money will then vote on the people that are going to win. So the money from Patreon goes to keep the show on the air, and then you can donate directly to the foundation, and there'll be links in the bio on YouTube. And if you just scroll up if you're listening to us on iTunes or whatever system you use, just find the bio for the show. It's going to have all the links, whether it's going through PayPal and giving a donation, again, directly to the foundation, and that money gets used for the foundation, not for the podcast. Or we'll probably in the future have like another website. There
we
are
also
foundation
created
websites.
We also created the Jiu-Jitsu Foundation IG. So there's going to be information on there.
There's going to be information there. We're going to post a lot. And what we're really doing, where I was going to go is we are also going to be releasing, by the time this episode airs, usually we film at least a week, maybe 2, before they actually air. And I'll look to Bo. Bo is working on the guy behind the camera, the brains behind the beauty of everything you see and hear. Bo is almost done with the GoFundMe video. That video is going to explain a little bit more about what we're doing. If you pledge through the GoFundMe, again, find the link in the description of this video or the podcast the sound on
We
your
had a
favorite
couple
podcast
good.
app.
We had a couple good looking jujitsu guys do that.
Yeah.
Video,
Well,
right?
one of them was okay.
Go look for that. Go look for that video. It's gonna be awesome.
So you're going to be able to click on the GoFundMe link in the description, and if you pledge money through GoFundMe, it does go 50-50. Half is going to keep the podcast going, and half goes directly into the foundation. Okay, so there's just kind of multiple streams here. I just want to make it clear that we're doing the GoFundMe. It's going to help with the show. The show is the reason we're able to do the foundation.
For sure.
Right? So again, Patreon goes directly to the show. The GoFundMe will get split 50-50, but we're also going to give you the opportunity to just donate directly to the foundation. It is a nonprofit 501(c), so that means that your donation is tax deductible, depending on what the government's doing
Tax deductible.
this next
that's a
year.
big deal.
So it's actually a tax deductible donation. Okay, so I'll let you talk to your accountants about that. I'm not I'm not an accountant. So I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you, but what I want the listeners to be excited about is that if you donate money to the foundation, we are going to find a veteran,
First responder,
or
a child in need.
in need. And it could be any of those three in need, or somebody that's just done something that's just deserving. I'm not saying we're not looking for poor people. We're looking for people who are deserving. We're looking for people who are, in need, in need of jiu-jitsu.
That's the word, deserving.
Maybe financially,
That's so
or they
cool.
could use it for, we talked about PTSD on the
Mentally.
show, right? It could be for it's going to be for a good reason. And we're going to be able to decide on that. We will decide on that. And then we'll figure out where we're going to put it. And, we're going to allow people to suggest, people that they think are deserving. So it's going to be you guys out there listening to us or looking at us, tell us about that police officer that, got that saved the baby or delivered a baby, or that fireman that, got a cat out of the tree, or something even crazier, somebody saving a life, or, a soldier coming back from the Middle East. We want to just make sure that this gets into the hands
or your
of people
child
that
that doesn't have an outlet and needs something to get them.
So our listeners
motivated.
are who are sending in the nominees.
Yeah, you guys out there are going to nominate. And thank you for making that point. We're going to let them nominate. We're probably going to have you guys post on either the podcast group or the fan page. I think either one will be fine. So there is a fan page for the show, for us, Jiu Jitsu Dummies. Then there is a foundation page now, it's the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Foundation. We've added to the foundation name. We are Jiu Jitsu Dummies. That's the Jiu Jitsu Dummies Foundation. And there is a group called Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast. And listen, that's all on Facebook. I know it gets weird and there's so many pages. Find us, make a suggestion. We're going to take it from wherever you post, and we're going to make sure that people out there can vote. We'll probably do something like we'll pick the top 3, and then we'll ask people to vote. So listen, calling on gym owners, calling on the higher belts out there who are teaching, coaching,
that are helping their gyms. I reached out to a couple of gyms, and there's individuals that are specifically working with their gyms, not necessarily the gym owners, but are helping run specific programs to encourage veterans, first responders, children in need to come in and get some help. So
those guys, those gym owners know that kid that stopped coming because his parents couldn't afford it, or that mom and dad who got divorced, and the kid, they've had to give up jiu-jitsu. Those are the people that we want to hear about. I very much think, because I don't want a veteran and a child to compete against each other. The first one is going to be to a vet. Let's just make that distinction right now. I don't want it to be like, oh, is this 10-year-old kid in more need than this veteran? I don't want to. So we're going to be able to give out as many scholarships as possible. It's going to depend on how much money we raise. You think about, what is it, the average
we'll
gym cost? Right. Under $200, 200 times 12 months is $2,400. So we need to raise some money to do this. We'll work out the details and explain it to everybody. But again, by the time this airs, the GoFundMe will be out there. We'll be raising money, and then we're going to announce, hey, start sending us your nominees. Make sense, everybody? I know, kind of went the long way there. I'm known for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
we know.
So there's so much to talk about. So we've talked about the foundation. You can find the foundation on Instagram at the JJD Foundation. Certain names aren't always available, so it's at the JJD, Jiu Jitsu Dummies, right? Foundation. On Twitter, it's the JJD Dummies FDN. Okay, and the GoFundMe, if you go to GoFundMe, if you just were on the website, just search Jiu Jitsu Dummies Podcast, Jiu Jitsu Dummies, Jiu Jitsu Dummies Foundation. You're going to find us. Again, links in the bios. All right. Perfect. So thank you for letting me get that out of the way. I hope that everyone participates. We love you guys all for what you've done for us and with us to this point. So excited to really move that forward. Okay. So
with that being said, we got to do a shout out, right?
We got a shout out. We have a shout out. So we're going to do the podcast patrons. Okay. Yeah. So big shout out to CJ Carroll, Mission 22, right? I know Mission that 22? You've got some interactions with Mission 22 going on.
Definitely.
Right now,
we're working some things with Mission 22 right now. What we want to be able to do is get more information out there to people, right? So who is Mission 22 and what do they do? Well, they help support veterans in need, right, with training. What type of training? Jiu-jitsu training, judo training, yoga, CrossFit. If they need it, go to Mission 22. Great organization, right? Okay. So CJ Carroll, thank you for that.
Mission22.com, Mission 22 on Facebook. Okay. Perfect. Also, Chuck Reddoor, he's been with us since the beginning. These guys have all moved over to the new Patreon system, so thank you guys.
Thank you.
A couple of guys actually started donating a little bit more, pledging a little bit more, so thank you guys. James Fisher, we always mention him. He's one of the guys that put us together with Fight Back CBD.
From the beginning,
so he's introduced us to a lot of people, the whole web of jiu-jitsu people that we have involved. A lot of that has come from James and making some introductions and tags and things like that. Damian Soto, he's one of our brand new podcast patrons. Shout out to Damian. Thank you. Thank you, brother. And then they're not podcast patrons, but Larry Goff and his daughter Gemma.
Gemma.
Hey, Gemma.
Shout out Gemma. Thank you for listening.
What's up, Gemma?
We appreciate you.
Yes. Spoke to Larry over Facebook. He sent me a picture of his daughter and her last competition on the podium, and just wanted to let her know that we appreciate you. I believe she had second. I think the picture that I have, she came in second at a New Breed tournament. Nice. Great job, Gemma. Keep it up. Keep on sending us pictures. Keep on listening. We appreciate you. I know that she's actually done some stuff with Tap Cancer Out. She's done some stuff for that organization. Actually, I think she's raised some money. So hopefully we can get her and maybe some other kids just like her to do their own GoFundMes and help out with the foundation. And listen, just keep on doing what you're doing. Look, we support anybody that is out there spreading the word, jiu-jitsu.
The gospel of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Amen.
We really appreciate you guys, and we're gonna. If you've got something going on, if you've got a foundation, if you've got an event, let us know. We're not charging to talk about you, so please let us know what you have going on. Tag us, shoot us messages, any of us here. But let's go back and let's go around the room. And it's been a while since you've seen Maury, so let's let everybody introduce themselves. Name, rank, and serial number.
Mauricio, I'm a blue belt under Felipe Amarante and Sofia Amarante.
Okay, where?
Fight Sports, Coral Springs.
Oh, yeah, I know those guys. They're pretty cool.
Well, I'm up. All right. I'm junior. I'm a black belt under Felipe and Sofia Amarante. Fights.
You're always going to say Fight Back. We all do it.
Fight Sports, Coral Springs.
Milton Campus, purple belt. Fight Sports, Coral Springs. I love Fight Back CBD. And... go ahead.
I'm Janet. I'm also blue belt. Same awesome school.
Fight Back.
Fight Sports Coral Springs.
Fight Sports Coral Springs. You get us. That's Fight Back's fault. So now everybody knows who's here. It's been a while since we've seen Mauricio. Mauricio has graced us with his presence.
Thank you for joining us, Mauricio.
And apparently he's just started back in the gym again. I did talk about you on one of the last 2 episodes that me and Junior did by ourselves.
Talking trash.
If I throw some shade, I'm going to give you the opportunity to respond. So those of you who didn't listen to the episode or don't remember, we talked a little bit about Mauricio's way of getting around rolling with me on the open mats on Saturday, which was, would you like to take it from there, or should I, I can finish the.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Please.
So,
this is getting better.
He's like, don't give me the shovel yet. Keep on digging that hole. So you, we were rolling, and you let me know that you would purposely roll with me on the first roll on a Saturday morning, which is typically the flow roll.
The flow roll.
So that you didn't have to roll hard with me. And that's not a lie.
Is that your trick?
I was 100% correct.
I didn't think it was that obvious. Just saying.
No, it wasn't. You told me this. But do you remember? You actually just sat in front of me and said it.
Maybe he was thinking it, and it actually just came out.
In my mind, I said, does this guy realize that he just outed himself? Like you told the wrong guy.
Well, I mean, you got to understand this. It's 9:00 in the morning.
Okay.
And you have I every time I go to the open mat, I try to roll at least once with everyone. And you have this big, no offense, purple.
Do
belt.
not talk about Janet that way. No, I'm just kidding. That joke sounded way funnier in my head, Janet.
Hey, I'm sure it did.
Want to give him back the shovel?
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that it takes me at least 30 to 40 minutes to wake up in the morning. Like, I'm not a morning person. I've especially.
Bo, this is where you can add in the violin music.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
So that was I think that was just a coincidence, just me like rolling with Milton as the first roll every single time.
So I'm gonna have to interrupt you. You have to understand. Do you know that you told me that you were doing this?
I was just
you
joking.
were like, I roll, but I realized that you were doing this every time.
I was just joking, but since you said that, I was like, it actually works.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
So are you trying to pull the I didn't even realize I was doing it?
Yeah, pretty much.
You do remember telling me that you were doing it.
I did.
Okay, so that's what I needed to get to.
I was actually, we're about to roll, and he was sitting in his square because the gym has like the mats like separate in squares and
his home.
And he was like, coming to Papa, and I was like, yeah, sure. And in the back of my head, I was like, oh my God, I'm not ready for this. I'm not even stretched yet.
Well, let's talk about that. Okay, so you outed yourself, but I have gone, and again, we talked about this before. I don't ask anybody to roll anymore. I do sit and I wait. It's kind of like it's kind of the opposite in the gym lately. Like the higher belts kind of just sit and wait to see who wants to roll with them. Like there's not a lot of hey, you come here, other than Professor Philippe. Right?
Yeah.
Philippe,
he assigns.
He usually says come, or he puts people together. But today, I wore the black belt Carlos. He doesn't go. Kind of like a respect thing, and you don't want to just feel like you're bullying anybody. So I stopped. I don't walk around. Mm-hmm. I sit and I wait, and if nobody wants to roll with me, then I'll go off to the side, give up my space. But I'm usually letting it's everyone else's choice, and I've done that because I feel like I am a bigger guy than most of the people there, and that I think the bullying it starts from that point though, that I feel like a bully if I say, hey, come here, and now I'm freaking gonna squish you, I'm gonna crush you.
It's a good thing then that our school is a little bit laid back, because that might not flow at another school.
But in what way? What's different? What would be different?
Well, as a lower belt calling you out because you're just sitting there, that might not go, because as a lower belt, I shouldn't be calling out a higher belt.
But I'm a purple belt. I'm not. I think if it's a black belt, it's a little bit different. Most of the black belts would say
it's a higher belt.
Yeah, it's a higher belt.
How do you do it?
I think it's a higher belt thing. Mm-hmm. It depends. If I go with that mentality of I'll let people come to me, then people might not want to roll with me. So there's times when I do have to say, hey, you come here, roll with me. And it doesn't.
I still might do that if I'm getting avoided. Which there's times that I get that people avoid.
I read something one time. It says how to roll with a black belt if you're a lower belt. Well, you make eye contact and you hope that he's gonna invite you to roll with him. You don't
see it's a privilege. You're also saying it in a way that it's a privilege.
It
and
is.
So definitely we've all been there where the new black belt. Like when Carlos first started coming, you know who Carlos is, right?
Yeah.
You know who Carlos is, right?
Good guy. Good guy.
He's awesome. Is very patient. Will teach you. And if you ask him questions, he's awesome.
He's
but
lucky.
when
He's lucky that he only has 5 pounds on me because he's lucky.
Are you kidding me? When he first started coming to the gym, though, like I think like everybody else is like you kind of want to figure them out. You don't know like what's his temperament, what's his mentality. Is he going to go really hard all the time? Is it like is he more of like a teacher and like he'll train you if he sees you doing something wrong? But I've gotten very comfortable. I love to roll with him now. I absolutely make sure that I get at least 1 and sometimes 2 rolls. And I had to run out today because we were recording later in the day. But I love rolling with him. But I think if I have that, I feel like a lot of people would have that mentality too. Like you see the new black belt come in and everyone's like, oh, everybody goes to that. If he's over there, everybody goes that way. No? Do you feel that?
I enjoy rolling with people.
Stranger though, a stranger comes into the gym first day. I think everybody's a little weary. No.
Yes, I want to see. Is because you don't want to get hurt. That's the main goal, especially with us. Like I said, I do this as a hobby. I still have to work in another 45, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. To survive and feed my family. So I can't really afford to get hurt and stay out of the job for a week, even if a few days. So every time I have someone coming to visit the gym, I want to see, how is he going to roll, because
that's what I'm saying. There you go.
You don't want to go with people that go crazy,
I'm so comfortable with Carlos so that I know that when I see him coming now, I'm like, oh, I'm happy he's there because I'm going to learn something that day.
I play a lot of jokes with Milton because, I've been training with Milton forever, but I'm never afraid of getting hurt by you. Even if you a little bit bigger than me, But I'm never afraid of getting hurt by Milton.
Appreciate that.
I mean, just that day, that he put his knee on my chest.
But he's still.
That was the only day.
We need to share. You need to send me that image that you posted of the man. Like, did you ever see that?
I don't think so. I'll look for that.
The guy with the hole in his chest.
No.
He went home and found like a meme, and it's this guy like shirt off and like a hole in his chest, like dented in.
Is that how you felt?
With some guy. That's how he felt.
The meme says like, "Today I learned the knee on chest with Milton."
You know who started the knee on chest? I had never really done that. Remember who it was? What's his name?
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yes.
Shout out, Ouch, if you're listening. That was where it started, where more people started doing that in the gym, where it was like, he had your knee on belly, and then he just switched to the other knee, and it's on your chest, and you're right on the sternum, and
right on the solar plex. Yeah.
You tap. He's got you collar behind the neck.
I felt like he put that knee right in your pelvis. It was the weirdest feeling.
No, but did he ever transition to the top on you? Right, so he's got you behind the collar, behind the neck, and then he's got the pant. He's got a good knee on belly. That's hurting enough, and then switches to the knee closest to the head, right on your sternum.
I love that move.
Oh yeah, you do it too. You do it too. Yeah, but
but it's more of a knee on neck to me. I got skinny knees.
Yeah, you do the knee.
Skinny knees.
You do the knee on neck.
It's not really.
Got somebody with the knee on neck today. Was it Jason? Who did I get the knee on neck?
I wasn't watching you roll. I'm sorry. I was watching myself.
Oh, but that's more of a gi move. That's more of a gi move.
Yeah, because you grab the gi and you press the knee in. Yeah.
I think it might have been Jason. I did.
Poor fella.
I was. Not really, right? Like in the back of her mind, she's like, "Good."
No, I did not think that.
Yeah, she did.
No,
she's got to go home to him. Okay, no, she doesn't, but she does. Okay, so let's jump into the sponsors. We didn't go over all the sponsors.
Sponsors.
Whoa! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
That's so loud, bro. We're still getting used to the headphones, guys. That was loud. That was really loud
sponsors.
For us. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, so. Big shout out to Ospop. I always point at the backdrop. Ospop BJJ on Instagram. Ospop on Twitter. Yep, Janet's got one of the Ospop shirts on. Thank you. Ospop is they're going to be so again. Our format is we read questions, we read listener questions. So we are going to be giving a mix of shirts and CBD, some some bare bone out to the different questions that we answer. I think that we all have one listener question.
Yep.
So there'll be 4 packages going out today, or well, not today, but I'm going to put you together. So we usually do 2 bottles of CBD. I'm not going to say who's getting what right now. I usually decide after the fact, but we know whose questions we're using, and you're going to either get, you'll at least get like Fight Back and a tee. 2 people will get Fight Back and a t-shirt. Ospop is giving us 1 shirt to give away, so it'll be Fight Back and 1 Ospop tee. The next guy will get like Fight Back and probably a podcast coupon code to the website. And then we're going to have the other 2 people will each get a tin of the bare bone recovery gel that you see on the table there.
But they're going to get something.
Everybody's going to get something. So they're going to get a recovery product.
Yeah.
And a t-shirt or a coupon code to the shop where they can choose whatever they want, which is usually rash guards, you got backpacks, coffee mugs, we got, and our t-shirts, right? So Ospop, so it's Ospop BJJ on Instagram and it's Ospop on Twitter. And then Fight Back CBD is at Fight Back CBD on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And it's fightbackcbd.com is where you can order. You can get 15% off with code JJD. Okay, for Fight Back.
I'm over here rocking my Fight Back CBD t-shirt.
Yes. Big shout out to Justin. We had him on the show a couple of shows back. He's awesome. Reach out to him. Okay. Let him know what you got going on. Ask questions. Everybody's always got questions about CBD. Am I going to get high? What is it going to do to me?
Mm-hmm. Good episode.
Listen, we had episode. What was it? Was it 7? Episode 7. 7, yeah, episode 7. We had Justin on, so you go back and listen to that show. He probably answered some of your questions on that show. Okay, so Bare Bone, the Recovery Gel, they're our new sponsor. I've used this week. You guys will be able to all take a tin home with you.
Very nice.
I used it at work. I'm on a computer all day. I can stand up or sit down. I have one of those kind of Varidesk type things, and I always get headaches just on my right side, mouse, phone, whatever it is. And I actually hurt my neck rolling with Junior, so it made it worse. But I popped a little bit on the back of my neck, and that's no shade. He beat me up, and I put some of that on the back of my neck. Like within minutes, I was feeling better. The smell is great. It's not like that real pungent, icy hot or Bengay smell. You guys haven't used it yet, so I'm excited for you guys to come back and use it and report back. So Barebone, if you go to bareboneusa.com, you can utilize code JJD there as well for 10% off your order.
Thank you, Barebone.
Right? Please support our sponsors. They're supporting us. Always a big shout out to them. And we already mentioned choke responsibly to the podcast store. Just remember, you can get 10% off at jujitsudummies.shop and use coupon code DummiesPod10 for 10% off your order. Okay. And it's now changed to free shipping if you order over $50. Okay.
Free shipping. Holy smokes. That's what I'm talking about. How can you pass up these deals?
The holidays are coming up.
Holidays are coming.
Free shipping.
Just saying.
So let's mentioning the holidays. When we go back to the Patreon system, we're talking about we're already doing a $100 giveaway this month, even though we kind of started a weekend. We've been posting online, and hopefully we'll continue to get people signing up. We're going to choose the first winner the last day of this month, or the 30 days in November. Mm-hmm. We'll choose it on the very last day. We'll announce on social media. They'll give you plenty of time to take that. It's going to be a $100 coupon code or a digital gift card from the Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast store. And you'll have plenty of time to order before Christmas. So if you want to send stuff, so it's different than a coupon code. It's going to be a digital gift card, so you can order something, send it to Mauricio. Get him his damn mug. Get him his mug so he stops pouting. And then you can go back and use that code. Right, you still have the money on it like a regular gift card. Unlike the coupon codes that we put out, right, you're using it once, use it on one order. So the first $100 raffle from Patreon will be announced at the end of the month. All right,
beautiful.
So get on there now. Spread it. You see me posting. Please repost. We've got to get people into the Patreon system so that they can be part of that. So again, listen, we've got stuff coming at all over the place. That's our thing. I want to give stuff away. I want to get these things into the hands of jiu-jitsu practitioners, and again, continue to spread the word. So let's get into some listener questions.
Let's do it.
What do you guys think? We all chose a question this week. I'm going to start over this way, Janet, or would you like to go first?
I'll go first.
You can go first.
All right. So my question is from Champzilla.
Champzilla, what's up?
Champzilla in the house.
Champ?
What up?
Hi, I'm a white belt. Wondering, what are some tips for when you feel like you are plateauing and to avoid getting frustrated and discouraged?
Don't roll with Milton.
There's always a Milton. There's always a Milton.
Every school has a Milton. You avoid the Miltons at all
costs.
You
can't see it. Oh, sorry. You can't see it from that side. There's a little tear coming out of my face right
here.
So read the question again now that they've distracted me.
So I'm a white belt, wondering, what are some tips for when you feel like you are plateauing and to avoid getting frustrated and discouraged?
Okay.
So before I answer what I think, somebody else, _Inc. had said, keep showing up, and I'm going to not disagree with that.
Okay.
That's really.
He answered it on the Instagram post. Okay, very cool.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm in this situation myself. I feel like I've plateaued months ago, and I'm stuck.
Okay.
And it is extremely frustrating. I feel like positions that I used to be able to get into fairly easy now, it's like I forgot what to do.
I got some really good answers to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some good input or responses. Number one, you got to remember everyone else is getting good around you too.
I know.
So everybody knows your tricks, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in your gym knows your tricks.
Everyone in your gym knows your tricks. So that's like we always get, we're in our little bubble, and we forget that some of these things, they work. They're still going to work out there on the mat, but we've got to remember everybody's getting better. Everybody's training and getting better, right?
Yeah, and they're learning your game, like you said.
Exactly.
I actually did this. Everybody knows I love that north-south choke, right? Mm-hmm. Marcelo Garcia, north-south choke. Everybody in the gym has their way around it. Most of you have just started sticking your knuckles in my neck.
It worked a couple times. When I get it,
they come underneath and they do.
It worked a couple times. I
actually used that on somebody in a tournament. I wound up getting choked out. It made him move to another move, and I still lost, but that prompted me to figure out what else can I do from these moves, right? We have, like I said, that was, I would consider that my move. That was the thing that I did. And I find a move and I work on it and I kill it and I use it until I feel like I've perfected it. And I don't have a lot of them, but that was one of my first. Mm-hmm. Well, in looking for YouTube videos, I found the next, where you go if you can't choke somebody there, right? And it was just coming into this side control. I still have their neck here, but usually they're hugging me with their arm. They've got their body. So there's like an arm lock right there. So I've just figured out the variation, the next thing, right? Mm-hmm. You're saying you've plateaued. Well, maybe you have with some of your moves in our gym. What's next? So figure out some cool things, or just find some things that you're not learning at the gym that other people aren't learning. Mm-hmm. That's going to be my suggestion is, was she a white belt? Shamzilla was a white belt? It's so early still. Yeah. There's so much you're going to learn. We're not laughing. I'm not laughing, but I'm smiling because the road has just begun. Whether you're a white belt for a year, 6 months, or even a couple of years, there's so much more that's going to come. So you really just keep on showing up,
and you're gonna forget things and come
you're
back
forget
to them
more than you ever learned.
Yeah, we just started really doing
There's no way to retain all of that
on the weekends.
There's
now,
so much,
right? Like we, for the most part, right? Like a lot of gyms, we stick to above the waist, from like purple belt down, right? You stick to
let the
up here.
Other schools know.
Don't tell them.
I'm sorry.
Don't tell them our secret.
But listen, we've all done like. But if I'm a blue belt going with a higher belt and they've shown me something, I can use that in that role with them.
Well, hey, show up to the morning class.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Right.
Right?
All black, is it all black belts in the morning?
No,
class?
no. But we were doing some leg stuff all last week.
Okay.
I heard about it.
But there you go. There's so much, like there's 50% of the body that we still haven't really done that. You're still going to get to.
Secret moves happens in the morning.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Shamzilla, I'm sure she has the opportunity to go to different classes with different people. Not saying go to a different gym. I'm sure there's some different times. Make sure you're training with different people. But
don't give up. It's normal. This is totally normal.
This is something like people do. Like they will train with the same person over and over. I'm a guilty myself of doing that, training with the same person over and over, and also doing the same mistakes over and over and over. And this is something usually you'd see what other people's doing. You'd never really see yourself. So I'm always I always told my son the other day, he was complaining, he was getting frustrated because he was trying to pass this kid guard, and his kid's pretty big. And I told him, I was like, you realize you've been trying to do the same exactly pass over and over and over and over, and he's already know what you're gonna do. So do something else, And
he's been working on that, trying to pass.
Yes,
that kid's been fine tuning how to defend the pass.
Exactly.
So you're you're going like this. You're going,
and it's such an early stage of jiu-jitsu. I can quote Felipe on this because there's something Felipe says one day, and it makes so much sense. Why you worried about the first grade when you still have to go to middle school, you still have to go to high school, and then comes college. It's such an early stage. You shouldn't be worried so much about like doing the fancy stuff.
Again, I usually, what I do is I just, I'm thirsty for the information. It's out there, whether it's podcasts, whether it's YouTube. Go find something like I've mentioned Jason Scully before. I love his videos. He does like these 5 to maybe 8 minute videos, and the titles are like 53 leg locks in 7 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
Great videos.
He's not. Yeah, this is the beauty of those videos. And I've been using this since a white belt. I found them very early in my jiu-jitsu training, and watch again, it's chokes, it's side controls, it's guard. He has videos for everything. You go in and you find something that you're good at. Find one of his videos that tells you the other there's the 53 variations. Holy crap. Go in there, watch those videos and go, oh shit. I didn't know that's what you could do when you're there. I always get stuck there. That's what happened to me early on. I'd say, holy shit, I didn't even know that was there. And now I'm going to bring that to the gym so that you're on that plateau. Find just one thing, and go work on it in the gym. But if there's 53 of them, how many, guard, somebody in your guard, how many guard submissions do you know? He's got a video. Like 53 submissions from the guard, from the bottom. Different things you can do.
I got a good recommendation for you.
Okay.
Here. Hey, spend some time, invest in your jiu-jitsu, and get a 1 hour private with your coach.
Oh, there
with
you
your
go.
professor. How about that?
That's a great
and
idea.
Since they know the moves that you've already learned.
Exactly. And that private is for you to pick their brain on the specifics of what you want to know. Hey, I want to get better at this. I want to get better at side control. I want to get better at knee on belly, or whatever the case might be. What can I do? And they're going to spend an hour with you going over and over that technique, finding those little details. It's those little details. Oh, you mean if I turn my leg just a little bit more, it'll make my sweep even better?
Or I get stuck here all the time. How do I not get stuck? Or if I do, how do I get out of it better?
Exactly.
1
hour private.
And look, I think that's a great idea. But just don't be scared to ask your coach questions during the regular class.
Well, no, I think in a classroom too. No, I think in a classroom environment, in a class setting, in a 1 hour class setting, it's kind of intimidating because now you're asking questions and everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe they're asking questions. I just want to hurry up and roll already.
The end of the class is okay too, right? The end of the class.
Nobody wants to stick around after class.
We on Monday through Thursday, we train, 7:30 to 8:30, usually a little bit longer. And the school's still open.
Yeah.
We can train.
Forget the higher
like
belts.
Another half hour.
You can always go for the higher belts.
I have yet to meet a coach, a jiu-jitsu coach, who doesn't love answering questions.
For sure.
Right? You coach, most of the people that coach, they coach because they love teaching. They love jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
They love teaching. They love imparting that knowledge. And, today I was rolling with Carlos, and I kept on getting, I've been getting it with a lot of people, the guillotine, but the chin strap. I'm getting the one arm under and getting the chin. And if they go to the side control, I keep it. I still have it. And I asked Coach today, after a roll, I just went over to him and said, Coach, I keep on getting the chin strap. I keep on getting here. what am I missing? What can I still submit from here? And he's like, yeah, do this, do this, do this. Look, it's right here. Put your knee up. I was like, oh shit! Exactly. Boom, plateau gone. I'm gonna work on that now. I'm getting everybody with that. But just a chin strap. Everybody goes to side control, but I keep it for a long time. I usually keep it and they get stuck there. It's a good stall, but at the same time, it's like, maybe I can get out. Yeah, like I haven't, I can't submit from here, but he just showed me the submission from that. And he's like, oh, I got it. He's like, it's hard, but I got this. Look at the way.
Then you can upa.
There you go. There you go. So, look, I say this all the time. Search out the information. There's so much information out there. You think you plateaued? You haven't even started.
I do like you're talking to your professor as well, because sometimes, and for me personally, drilling obviously is important, and so is rolling. But I think just talking it out, nice and slow type of a drill. Why am I going here? How do I turn? That, for me, that's how I learn the best. I have to break down every position and understand why it's working. Otherwise, it's just a movement.
You still writing stuff down? I know you mentioned like in one of the early podcasts that you write down.
I have a little jiu-jitsu journal.
Yeah.
For the positions
I never did
really
that.
liked.
I know that works for some people.
So you can go back and say, oh, I wasn't putting my right hand here or whatever.
It's funny because at work, we're training on a new system at my regular 9 to 5 and in my real life. As Clark Kent, that's a joke. So we're training on this new system, and it's funny how we're in a class and we're learning the system. It's on a big screen TV, and some people are like writing down everything that the instructor's saying. Some people aren't writing down anything. And some of us are going, hey, they're going to email us everything she's going over. There's like a PDF or there's a document. And I'm one of the guys, I'm like, I'm going to pay attention because I know they're going to give me the doc that just has all the notes. If there's something outside like that, I want to I really probably want to know that. Point being, there's a guy at my organization, he takes notes by drawing. And I used to just think he was doodling. He actually draws out stuff. Like when you're talking to him, he's a graphic designer there, but when he takes notes, everything's in pictures. I was always amazed by that. Point being, everyone is so different in the way they
different learning styles,
right? Yeah. And you love to write it down. In my mind, I'm like, damn, I don't have time to have this and the podcast and regular work and the kids and I'm like in the bathroom looking at the YouTube video. That's what I do. I go, let me find the information or let me keep a little note, when I'm on the throne. But, everybody learns differently. You have to find the thing, just like jiu-jitsu and just like a move and just like your body type. Everybody's different. You have to find what works for you. I always remember that you said that you take notes. I'm like, I might take the note, but that doesn't work for me. Getting it later, really focusing on the information in the moment, I'm good. And then maybe searching out some other information. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody. But,
no, I think it does.
Again, it does. It's different for everybody.
I have to be doing. I can definitely watch the videos, but I have to also be doing it. It's for everything. Even at work, it's the same way. I have to be doing in order to learn, to retain that information.
When I'm preaching about looking at videos, I know some coaches are like, oh, they hate that, they cringe. I look at a video and I just try to pull out one thing. I'm not doing that. And I might watch, shutting it off right here. I'm going to stop. Maybe I'll watch it all the way through once, but I'll watch the same video over and over. But I'm going to take one thing and I'm going to implement that in the gym to make that move work. I'm always in my mind, like I feel like I try to work on one thing. Now I've been looking at, leg lock videos.
People also have to remember, especially people complain about when they get stuck, not everything works for everybody.
Yeah, body types.
A person that is stocky with short legs, it's not going to be a triangle person, and that goes exactly, So not everything. Maybe what he's trying to do doesn't work for him. Maybe he needs to try something else, and see what works for his body type.
So did you have a question about body type? What was your question?
No, my question was from. Let me see. I love the name because it's BJJ Alpha Freak. Hey, BJJ Alpha Freak.
What's up, BJJ Alpha Freak? Oh, that was loud, huh?
Yeah, that was. Ouch. I currently work evening shift, 3 to 11. Now, with no available classes during my shifts, what can I do in the meantime to get better, improve my game? I can personally relate with this question. Like,
I feel like you wrote that quite. I feel like that's you.
Yeah, that was me in
That's
disguise.
you right now. We've talked about it.
That's why he likes the handle so well.
That's my other Instagram account. No,
I thought it was the beefcake one that we said.
Now we're getting personal. Anyways, the reason why I haven't been coming to the podcast and not even like training as much as that I wish, just because working 50 plus hours a week, plus going back to school, and it's so hard, to find time to train. It's very, very, very hard to find. The problem with jiu-jitsu, we all know it's very addictive, and especially for me when I can't train, I get very irritated, and after a couple weeks, that's when we start to have the dreams. You sleep and
dreaming about jiu-jitsu.
You dream about you dream about jiu-jitsu, and you and so it's, I don't know, man. Like for me,
so his reader's question again, real quick.
For me, it's like he was saying, like I currently work evening shifts, 3 to 11. Now, with no available classes doing my shifts, what can I do in the meantime to get better, to improve my game?
Okay.
Again, you can always go to YouTube and watch your videos. You gotta understand jiu-jitsu, it's mind and body. So you don't have time. This is something actually Milton told me before. I actually heard that from you before. I was having the same question, and you said the same thing to me. You said if you don't have time to train your body, make sure you train your mind, because you don't want to exclude yourself completely from the gym. If you can't go to gym,
out of sight, out of mind. And if you're not doing if you love jiu-jitsu, like I think we all do, feed some part of your body, whether it's your brain.
Exactly. Especially like there's a lot of videos of competitions when you actually see people rolling. I find so relaxing to watch those videos. I would spend like sometimes over an hour just watching like videos of people like rolling.
I mean, there's we've had this question come up a lot in like different like variations of the question, and I've answered it a lot of times with like feed your mind. But what about a real jiu-jitsu dummy, a grappling dummy? Just get a heavy bag.
Kids? maybe he's got a kid.
Yeah, I know we had. I think one of us, it might even be me, has a question that involved, talking about, there's a parent that's training with his son, and what could I do to help my son without getting in the way of his training, or conflicting with the messages that he's getting in the gym.
Another suggestion that I have, because this is something I do sometimes. If you have like a membership from a gym like LA Fitness, Planet Fitness, and they're really cheap. Some of those gyms, they go for $10, $20 a month, and they open 24/7. Again, it's not jiu-jitsu, but you don't want to be out of shape because you can't train. So you can go to gym maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
You're really lucky too. You got your son. Your son's 16. He's taller than you now, right?
No, he's 14. He's taller than me.
He's 14. Oh wow.
He's 14. He's taller than me, and he's been training for 3.5 years.
Do you guys move the coffee table out of the
living
room?
We do that sometimes.
Does your wife want to kill the two of you?
We usually do when she's not at home.
That's the way to do it. That's exactly
what
at home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I mean, you do okay. So for the listener, what's it? Alpha BJJ Alpha.
It's a BJJ Alpha Freak.
Alpha Freak.
Yeah.
But look, we all know here, we are friends outside of here, and I've heard your story so much, you're so busy, but you do have the benefit of your having your son there.
Yes.
Because you haven't been, do you train with him a little at the house?
Oh yeah, I choke him all the time.
What exactly have you been doing? You choke him out. Have you been doing anything else in the time that you've been off, or has it been hard to find time to do anything? Even to do the things that we're saying, like feed the mind, feed the body.
It's been hard to find times. I've been hitting the YouTubes really hard.
Yeah.
Just watching the videos.
Hitting that YouTube real hard.
Right, man. Just watching,
crushing it.
Just watching videos, and just keep my mind, fresh. Keep my mind watching the techniques.
Okay.
Once I have time, some simple things like go for a walk. Just do some juggling. Like something.
Juggling?
Yeah.
That's a new one.
I'm gonna just jump in here real quick.
What? Have you tried?
I could juggle. I could juggle.
Have you tried?
I could juggle.
You know,
juggle these nuts.
Yeah.
But hey, let me just jump in.
I don't juggle like this though. That's a different kind of juggling, Mauricio. I'm not sure if we're losing something in the translation.
No translation.
Here's what I think too. Like, hey, what's your favorite excuse? I'll tell you what my favorite excuse is. I don't have time. That's my favorite excuse.
Okay.
Because 3 to 11, what's that mean? That means that you can't go to an evening class. But can you go to a morning class? Can you go to an early afternoon class?
I was going to ask, is this a temporary work time or is this an all the time? Because if it's all the time, then perhaps if your school doesn't have that morning, maybe you need to find another school.
That's what I was getting to.
You know, you love your people once you get into your school.
Yeah, it's hard to go. It's hard to go.
It really is. And I understand that. But if it's not,
hey, I want to give
the classes.
Because of that, I want to give out some shout outs too, because I've been lucky enough that I've reached out to people and they've opened up the gym, their doors to their gym where I can come train. So thank you to Wagner Rocha down in Pembroke Pines, right? Thank you to Freddie Trillo down in Miami Gardens. Hey, I've been able to go down there and train with them outside of my regular.
We'd like to have
classes.
both of them on the podcast. By the way, I actually reached out through social media to Wagner previously, but you just trained with Professor?
No, I actually went down there. I went and trained with
They call him the BJJ Cop, right?
The BJJ Cop. So thank you, Freddie, for opening your doors.
Check him out on YouTube. Check him out.
He's got some great videos, especially for law enforcement. How you can use that, because this could probably be another episode. But hey, we talk about sport jiu-jitsu a lot. Yeah. But there also is a self-defense aspect of jiu-jitsu which gets missed a lot. So hey, write that down, man. That's going to be a good episode.
And if he's listening, or if you talk to him again, we'd absolutely love to have him on the show. We've got a couple of guests lined up. It's been a scheduling issue with some of the people. I mean, everybody, it's tournament season. There's a lot going on, but we'd love to have him on whenever he'd like to come down. We definitely.
So he invited me to a 9 a.m. class down in Miami Gardens, a 30-minute drive. Wagner has 2 classes, 6 a.m. and he's got a 10 p.m. Okay. I went to his 10 p.m. class, which fit my schedule for that day.
Mm-hmm. So you had a boy come in from. You have a friend? Is it a military friend?
My buddy Blas came in from
Japan, right?
From Japan. He's transitioning up to Jacksonville.
And in the military, active military.
Yeah, he's Navy.
Okay.
Yeah, top secret squirrel stuff. I can't give out too much info on him. But hey, no, he wanted to get some training, and so we've been able to do that. So I've made that happen for him. We're probably hoping to make it over to Coral Springs.
Okay.
To Fight Sports and get some morning training in with him so he can get a different feel for different gyms. And I think, again, like you were saying in your previous question, it comes down to you plateau because people are learning your moves.
Exactly.
And everybody's learning the same thing. So, hey, you are.
And you stuck training with the same person, over and over and over, and this is something.
I hate to use the word stuck, because it makes it sound so bad. It's a good thing. You develop relationships, but you have to make it a point to train with different people.
You should.
You have to make it a point to not be the guy that walks to the other side of the room because there's a big guy or a black belt and I've been guilty of that. I've seen people walk away from me and I've walked away from black belts. I get it. Usually me, again, it's more for I don't know who they are. I want to see their demeanor, their jiu-jitsu kind of demeanor first before anything. Because if they're going to be the guy that's they're really, they're looking to be in the UFC one day, I'm probably not the right partner for you.
Speaking of that though, I have to say that Professor's really good. Felipe is really good about if we have a new person coming in, he'll either try and roll with them first or have Sophia if it's a female, whatever, so that they understand where they are.
They get a feel for them.
He knows hey, you can go with this person or go with this person. Don't necessarily go with that person. But at the same rate, even if Felipe is rolling, he's still watching.
Yeah, he's good at that. He's great at that, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he'll call you out and you're like, well, I didn't even know you're 2 mats over in your own role. I didn't know you were looking
everything.
At me. But it's good though, because if you do have that new person or, visiting or new, that just signed up, whatever, they're still watching out for you. It's not going to get too crazy.
Absolutely. Again, to put a cap on that question is you gotta, if you love jiu-jitsu or you love anything, you're going to find time for it. The BJJ Alpha Freak is listen, it's out there. There are other gyms, privates, YouTube. Get your own dummy. Get a punching bag. Put it on the floor. Train with it. There's a way.
The options might be different for every individual. To me, changing schools is not an option. You know, I really like my school.
Yeah.
You know, it's my second house. You know, so it's not an option. So to me, is I'll change jobs, schedule. You know,
You're gonna change jobs before you change
before I change the
That's
school.
commitment
That's
right there.
dedication.
I really
right
like.
there, people.
I don't
Sounds
see
like a
myself.
belt promotion right there.
Yeah, right.
I don't see myself going out of school. You know.
Philippe, are you listening? You hear this?
But you know, you got to see what works for you. You know, can you change jobs? You know, does your school have a morning program? You know, can you visit other schools? You know, can you do some side training? You know.
So let's move on
All right,
to
cool.
the next question.
All right, so this question is from More Beefcake. Great name. I hope that's not your email.
I said beefcake before.
I hope that's not your email. If it is your email, Jeremiah Johnston, please change it. I guess it's good for Instagram. But all right, here's your question. I'm new to jiu-jitsu. My school only offers 3 classes a week. What are some things I can do on my own to improve my game?
Oh, we just talked about it.
We did talk about that. Well, we talked about different aspects of it, right? Yeah. Different aspects. So 3 classes a week, which hopefully you go to. I think that's a good number of classes at a beginner rate, you know. I would imagine that if you can make it to more, you would go to more, right? So jiu-jitsu is not just, I would say it's not just technique. I would say it's not just drilling. It's not just rolling. There's also cardio. Cardio, I think, is the biggest aspect of jiu-jitsu, which people miss a lot. Cardio and breathing control, right? So, hey, work on those things. You know, Milton mentioned it earlier when he was talking to Mauricio about feed your mind, right? Or vice versa. Mauricio was mentioning that. Milton had said that. There's a great book called The Oxygen Advantage, which talks about how to properly breathe, right? And that potentially has helped my game quite significantly because when you're rolling, think about this. As you're rolling, focus on the other person. Focus on their breathing pattern. And their rate of breathing can give you an insight as to when they're going to move, right? So that's what I do. Because I work on controlling my breathing, I can focus on somebody else's breathing, right? So as soon as they start doing the
they're going to move.
They're about to move, right? So that you can adjust to that. So
Note to self.
Exactly. When you can control your own breathing, then it plays a big role. And how do you do that? Well, cardio. What's your biggest excuse? My biggest excuse is I don't have enough time. Hey, 20, 30 minutes of cardio. You can make that time. Get up 20, 30 minutes earlier, right?
True.
Do 20 minutes of cardio. And if you need a cardio exercise, hey, do a Tabata. You don't know what that is? Look it up.
What's a Tabata?
It'll wear you out.
What's a Tabata?
It'll wear you out in 8 minutes, right? So you're doing, all right, so a Tabata is a 4-minute exercise where you're doing 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Right? And you
I know ciabatta is a bread, but
Tabata.
About time you get up and do something.
Ciabatta. If I was Portuguese,
bread, I could do
if I was Portuguese, I might say. If I was Brazilian, I might say ciabatta, but it's with a T. Black Belch.
Black Belch.
All right, so Tabata, right? So look it up. Do some cardio, right?
Okay,
and improve your cardio.
All right.
What else? We talked about 3 classes a week, and I just said it in the last question. Hey, find other schools nearby where you can potentially train, right? Maybe make it to a morning class.
If they did that, do you feel like they should talk to their professors first?
Oh, yes, for sure. Great point. That's a great point that Jenna brings up, right? You don't just want to show up to other people's schools, and you don't want to be thought of as, what's that word?
Creonch.
Yeah,
Creonch, right? Where you're betraying, right, your gym and going to somebody else's gym. Yeah, definitely.
You tell them the secrets to the other school. Cause that's what it's about.
Be, right?
When they're
I had somebody comment and that commented like yesterday, like on one of the videos. I forget which episode it was. We talked about it. It's like, you shouldn't have to ask anybody. You're paying them, like that attitude. And I get that. I absolutely get that. But you should be able to go wherever you want. You know, I hear this like no politics in BJJ. You know, I'm a no politics guy. You should be able to go wherever you want.
Good luck with that.
That's the thing is that it is going to be a problem. It is going to be a problem for some coaches. You know, Junior said it before. Make sure you say something. Your coach, just think of your coach being online, seeing a picture. Right, we're all friends with we're following each other online. Your coach sees you in another gym. He hasn't seen you for a week. Did Junior leave? Is Mauricio still coming in? What's going on? Look, it's a respect thing. They're giving a lot. They're giving their time. They're giving. Yes, we pay our fees, but they're giving us a lot of knowledge. There is a student-teacher aspect to this game. I think that you should give them the respect. Now, if somebody said, no, you can't go to that gym, I've never experienced that yet. I probably would have a problem with that if somebody told me I couldn't do something. What do you mean I can't go there?
But maybe they have a reason why. Maybe the way that they roll.
Yeah, that could be a good reason.
The people that might hurt you.
People gotta understand that jiu-jitsu, it's almost like a cult. It's not your normal gym like you go pay and train. That's the way the community presents themselves, the way the community is, it's almost like a
no, I'd say it's more brotherhoods. Like you want to stick to your brotherhood, to your group. I think cult would probably be it too.
Yeah, the cult's a little strong.
It's your own little strong.
Yeah, it's cliquish. It's
a little strong here in the States, Mauricio.
Oh, okay.
But the cult is very has a very negative connotation. But I do think it is a club. This is your club. These are your people. This is your family. We really
you represent.
Family.
But also, let me take this into, I guess, make this point that I'm a black belt, so it might be a little bit easier for me. I don't recommend. And we are talking about lower belts, right? Jiu Jitsu Dummies, right? Like intro stuff. Yeah, definitely ask your coach. Hey, coach, I want to get more training time in. Where do you recommend I go train?
That's what I was gonna say. If you ask your professors, they might have a good place where you could go. And don't forget to call that school then and say, do you mind if I come down? Do you have a mat fee?
Yeah.
What do I, is this gi, no gi? In our school, we're only allowed to wear white gis. So if you have a colored gi, are they going to not like that? They want you to wear the white one, more traditional. Don't be rude about it.
Exactly.
I think it does.
And be humble when you show up. Don't walk in like you've got something to prove.
Do we have a white gi policy? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Over
what?
his dead body,
we don't?
is it not?
I've got some black gis upstairs collecting a lot of dust. As a matter of fact, I've already packed them up. I put them in storage recently. But yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you guys are saying. I do think that, again, asking permission, telling him you're going somewhere, just have a conversation with your coach. It's again, nothing worse than imagine your professor seeing you and not knowing that feeling that you're going to put him through. It's just a respect thing.
Yeah,
I think we do it in so many other parts of our lives.
Yeah, for sure.
Why not with your coach?
I think in jiu-jitsu, you got to think you're looking for something bigger, right? You're looking for mentorship, right? So you're not just going to leave your professor, right? You have to treat your professor like that. Like he's your Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah,
you just don't disappear on him. Hey,
yeah.
What do you recommend I do? If my professor tells me, hey, do this 100 times, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it 100 times. And at the same point in time, I'm not going to ask. And this goes back to another question that we asked on a different episode, asking for belt promotions. Hey, you don't ask for belt promotions. Just do what he's telling you to do because you're looking for him to give you something. The knowledge is going to come how it comes.
Imagine if Mr. Miyagi walked past the Cobra Kai studio and saw Daniel training with the...
Yeah, he'd be upset,
he'd be upset.
We should sell that to YouTube.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Didn't
good.
YouTube do that?
Aren't they doing it already? I haven't seen it.
We should write that script.
All right. So does anybody have any other input? I mean, again, we do get that question a lot. We've had some different kind of variations of answers, but...
so thank you, more beefcake.
More beefcake. Beefcake. I have a question from Eddie Gallegos. He says, my 7-year-old son just started taking classes. He's been doing it for about a month now. I was wondering what I could do to help him at home. I myself am new to jiu-jitsu, so I want to be careful not to contradict or undo what he's been taught. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the question, Eddie. I don't think that there's anything that you could do that's going to help him if ultimately the mission is to go this way to learn. You're new, so I would again, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I would definitely the Gracie University, the Gracie brothers have some great videos on playing jiu-jitsu, how to play with your children. Your 7-year-old son is already training, but there's some great videos on how to get them to go to school, how to get them to go to class when they don't want to go, when they're playing with video games, when they get to age 12 and they're discovering girls and they want to hang out with their friends. But there's some great videos that they have about how they impart some knowledge about when they were kids, how their father played jiu-jitsu with them and didn't make it like, okay, we're going to go train in the living room now. They would just be watching whatever, doing their daily thing, and then they'd start playing, and the kids are trying to pass daddy's guard, and it became fun. And I probably couldn't do the stories justice, but go out and look for those videos. But again, Henner and Hidon, they have great information about that. But there's probably nothing you're going to do to damage your child's jiu-jitsu. Anything that you're doing to help him get better. And look, even in that playing, I find that I weed out bad things that I'm doing when I'm training someone else or when I'm working with somebody else that's new. So Eddie's going to be, teaching us some, but he's also going to be fine tuning his skills, where to put the leg, where do you put your arms. He'll discover like, oh wow, I was doing that wrong. So be very careful, that you're not getting into leg locks with a 7-year-old, but I don't really think that there's anything that he could do to hurt him. If the number one, you're sharing this incredible journey with your child. Mauricio is lucky to be able to say that he's doing that with his 14-year-old, but I don't think there's anything bad that can come of it.
I would say let the coach be the coach.
Yeah,
you don't want to be that parent on the sideline trying to coach your kid on the mat.
But he's talking a little bit more about home though. I mean, you're at home,
right?
Yeah.
Preach it.
Okay. Right. So even at home, don't go back and correct what your coach has done, especially if you're new to jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. Let your coach be the coach.
But you don't, sitting in the living room, moving the coffee over and playing around a little bit.
Oh, no, for sure. I completely
encourage
that.
Right? Okay.
I completely
but you need to keep it positive.
Of course.
Oh,
and it's crazy that this question is right now because we do have a dad, not with a son, but with a daughter who pretty much went through the same thing. She started, then he started. And he would go home and say, hey, let's do this. You didn't do this. Let's work on this. And she's like, I don't want to do that here. Yeah. That's not between you and I. That's me on the mat. Okay. Kind of encroaching in a way.
I agree, yeah.
He said the best thing that he learned to do was just to applaud her.
Yeah.
Not anything negative, but hey, I enjoyed watching you tonight. You did a great job. Exactly. You gave good heart, and leave it at that. When they get home, she wants to bring it up and she wants to talk about it, then he's all about
Daddy,
it.
Let me show you this move.
Yeah, then he's all about it. But if the second that he tries to, hey, you didn't give it 100%, or hey, you should have came up, that you lose her.
Yeah.
That's kind of where she's out the window. And like you said, you're not my coach. Be my dad, not my coach. It's not like not putting down soccer, but it's not like, hey, your dad's your coach as well. This is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So let dad be dad.
It's football, by the way, no soccer.
I'm sorry.
Let's not go there. I'm not going to mention the school. I'm not going to mention the school. I don't want to out anybody. I know of a situation where a boy in his teens quit because the father started. And the father couldn't figure it out. Why? He thought he was going and sharing this journey with the son. And the father came back to the school and let the coaches know. He's like, I figured it out. I found out what happened. He's like, he was talking to a friend of the family, the child, and he was like, that was my thing. And now my dad's there doing it too.
Yeah.
Even though it was different times, it was like the kid would train, the dad would get on the mat after. And the child was a little bit. Now we're in a place where we have family jiu-jitsu, right? We're in a very welcoming environment for that. So that happened. That's a very unique and I don't think that happens a lot. It's a one-off, but it did happen. Now we know what the father said. We're hearing this child's information secondhand. But, was the dad maybe going home and trying to coach the son and saying, hey, let's do this and do that? That definitely could have been something that happened. Mm-hmm. But the child quit. I have to guess that probably there was a little bit more going on there. But,
you got to know your kid, too. Yeah. Because in the same manner, we have a little one who's been training for a couple of years now, and mom just started. He couldn't be more excited. Yeah. He's there with his phone recording. Yeah. Go, mom, do this, do that. And that when they get home. So... age plays a difference. Your kid's involvement, how close you are, like you said, are you going home and being kind of a Debbie Downer about it? Hey, you should have, hey.
Yeah, now right, the parent's the second person or the the person that started later, and now they're trying to like correct the things. I could see that happening. I could see all of those things happening. But listen, jiu-jitsu is supposed to be fun at the end of the day. You know, it's a you know a self-defense thing for some people, and it's a workout thing for others. Some people it's stress relief, and you know, they're never going to get on the mats, and they're never going to do a tournament. But everybody has, you know, their reason for doing this. But you know, kids are usually forced to go, or you get entered. Oh, yeah, you're going to do this. So I think you have to be very careful in going home now and
let them lead the conversation.
Yeah, being the coach and wanting to show. Yeah, I could see how that could go bad.
If they want to talk about it, then talk about it, but don't be too pushy. And if they don't want to, then let that be something that maybe they go to their friends and say, hey, you know what I learned? This is really cool. You just kind of feel that out with your own little one.
So thank you again, Eddie, for the question. I hope that we helped you there. So we're going to put the spotlight back on us, and we're going to go to Junior and I did this in the last episode, episode 9, where we had, you know, we asked 3 questions that we want to ask of not only the host, but guests when they come on. I've added a 4th question. We're going to mix it up because I think a lot of the answers to question 1 and 2 for a lot of us have really are the same answer. So let's go with, we're going to go around the room. We'll go around to everybody. All right. So, biggest regret in jiu-jitsu. Do you have one?
I mean, I wish that I had known about this when I was a lot younger, but since I didn't, I mean, I guess I'm glad that I just started when I did.
Okay.
No, I mean,
that's good. That's a good answer. There you go. We got 4. So Mauricio, biggest regret.
My answer is pretty much the same. Why I haven't started this, you know, at the younger age, you know.
Yeah.
When you think about it, if I knew, I mean, I always knew jiu-jitsu. I'm from Brazil, but why I didn't start this, you know, before, you know, why I didn't start this at a young age.
Did you ever even think about doing this in Brazil? Was it even?
Was juggling another option?
Yeah.
At that time.
Why did you choose juggling over jiu-jitsu?
Because it's fun, you know. You just grab things and throw it up.
Just grab the balls.
Just grab the balls, you know.
You're gonna have to show us some of this at the end of the show. Can you juggle maybe those 3?
You play with balls before, so you know how it is.
I could do a little juggling.
Exactly. A little juggling.
You know. We Junior and I have both discussed this, so you have to go back to episode 9 to hear our answers. So let's go to the next question. Okay, if you can go back in time, what would you tell the white belt you, the moment before you stepped on the mat for the first time? What would you go back and tell yourself?
Don't do it.
Calm down. I guess I'd probably tell myself to calm down.
In what way?
You got the anxiety,
the spazzy white belt.
Anxiety. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
The spazzy white belt. You want to. There's so much information. You just want to absorb it all, and you know that you can't. And so it's like you want to do everything right, and just.
I mentioned
just
that
calm
again.
down.
I mentioned that I think on the last episode. Like I've been watching the Matrix movies, and it's like they plug him in for Neo in for the first time, and the first thing he downloads is jiu-jitsu. He's like, I know jiu-jitsu now, you know, like I know kung fu. But
that's crazy. What would you tell? Does.
Yeah, right. That's a whole nother story. I love the fact that the jiu-jitsu communities embrace Keanu Reeves because that's
you know
awesome.
Who else trains? Oh. I'm going to look up his name. Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah. He just got his brown belt, right?
Yeah,
Shout out to Ashton. Yeah. Come on the show. Come down.
There's quite a few people. Actually, I saw Wiz Khalifa, too. There's quite a few people.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Demi Lovato does.
Yeah. Is she a blue belt? I think she got a blue belt.
She's a blue belt.
She's blue, but I don't know if she's picked up anything. Or purple. But that's cool.
No, yeah, she's at blue still, I think.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
If they they can find time.
Right.
Yeah, right. Lots of, I'm sure there's lots of, one-on-ones.
What's the guy from Married with Children?
Al Bundy.
Al Bundy. He's a black belt under the Gracies.
I met him.
He's a black belt, right?
Really?
I met him at an event, and we talked for like 30 minutes about jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah? That's awesome. Al Bundy.
No, what's his real name?
Oh, God. Jesus.
Al Bundy.
Right? I'm like, yeah, Al Bundy, right? Yeah, duh.
I'll look it up real quick while you go to Mauricio.
That's going to bother me.
Mauricio, if you can go back in time, what would you tell the white belt you the moment you stepped on the mat for the first time?
Well, that guy, that Milton is a bully. You avoid him.
Oh man,
Janet's cool. We can roll with her.
Yeah.
You know, take it easy. You know, don't create too much expectations. You know, because it's a very long journey. And that's the thing that people don't understand about the sport. You will get better no matter what, as long as you keep coming, you know. And especially at the beginning, I used to get very frustrated because of my cardio. You know, I would get tired after one row.
You lost a lot of weight from the day that you started, right?
I was 215 pounds when I stepped on a mat for the first time, and I'm a 178 now.
Okay.
So it's
where'd you
nice.
start
Good
again?
job.
I'm sorry.
I was 214, 215.
Wow.
You know, obviously
that's a big
there
version,
is
yeah.
also diet, you know, involved, but not getting into that. But it's just creating too much expectations, you know.
Yeah.
Because I remember coach used to get very mad at me because I would skip rows, you know. I was like, oh, I'm going to take a break and go to the wall of shame, you know. I don't want to roll because I'm really tired, you know. And he, obviously he's the coach. He was going to motivate me. It's like, hey man, you got to do it, man. Just do it. And I was like, I can't. My lungs are burning right now. And then I realized it was all my breathing. You know, when I learned how to breathe, you know, the problem was solved. Now I can train for hour and a half with no problem, you know. But at the beginning, you know, it was a little frustrating, you know.
Yeah.
So I would definitely tell the white belt of myself, you know, just take it easy, you know, and it will get better eventually. You know.
Good answer. Al Bundy's name?
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill. Oh,
Ed O'Neill.
now we're all like, I know it.
Yeah.
All right. So our next question. What is your ultimate goal other than achieving the rank of black belt? What is your ultimate goal in jiu-jitsu?
I thought that's the only goal.
Mauricio, would you like to go first on that one?
Go ahead, Mauricio.
Well, I've said this before, like the black belt, but especially getting the black belt with my son.
Okay, that's awesome.
You know,
That's
something that
that's a great goal.
I have a picture with me and him as a white belt. You know, I think it's really cool if you can do not just for the picture, but very cool if you can do before and after. You know, the white belts and now the black belts, because
that's the one, that picture that you look like Pablo Escobar.
No,
right?
no, not that one. Not that one. You know, if I can get the belt, you know, with him, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
You know. I just like to train, you know, and I really miss it when I don't, you know, and like I said, I think that's the goal, just to get the black belt, and
good.
Especially with my kid.
I like that. We'll take that. Janet?
Ask me the question again.
Okay, so what is your ultimate goal other than achieving the rank of black belt? What is your ultimate goal in jiu-jitsu?
I guess
Get it before Jason.
That doesn't bother me. I guess being able to train as I get older, so not getting hurt, I guess, and knowing my limits, that I'm not then, like I said, creaking around the house trying to get out of bed. I have to roll out, whatever. Being able to train for many more years to come.
Okay, I think you and I had similar answers.
When you roll out of bed, is it a front row or is it a back row?
It's like this god awful side slide.
I have
roll and then slide out.
Now that we have one more question, so we have four. We're typically going to do three. We have a fourth question, but I will say that I've learned to stretch after rolling now. It's helped me tremendously. Like in the gym after class, stick around for 10, 15 minutes. Hats off to Andres, who I saw him doing it. We talked about it a little bit. I got to do that too. I really need to stick around for just a few minutes, even if it's while we're talking.
For sure.
Just do some stretching. I come home, I stretch. I use the massage. I use all different stuff, but I'm stretching. That's definitely helped me. The other thing is, I usually have my fiance. She takes her foot and she pushes me out of the bed. That's my roll out of bed. She takes her foot. She knows when I'm struggling, like to get up, like, and she'll either push me or she'll take her foot.
Nice.
And she helps me roll off the edge of the bed.
What a gal.
She must be very
She's
strong.
a keeper. So getting married in December, everybody.
Yay.
Be floating in the ocean.
We're gonna be there
okay,
too.
so
he doesn't know it. We're going.
Jiu Jitsu Dummies.
So okay,
we need to record it. We have to be there.
I have an answer. If Janet doesn't have an answer, I've got an answer for her. But we'll start with Mauricio. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you while training, on or off the mat? Well, on the mat or in a tournament or anything like that.
Get kicked in the eye.
You got kicked in the eye?
I get kicked in the eye. You know,
we're not dropping names, right? No names.
No,
but you know who you are.
No, tell them. Tell us.
So you know who you are.
Who?
My friend Alex kicked me in the eye. You know,
Alex. Mr. Professional.
Mr. Professional. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Professional.
Shout out to Mr. Professional. What's the Uppercut Barbershop?
Yes.
Where is it now? Where is he? Wait, let's give him a proper shout out. If we're going to talk about him, we got to give him a proper shout out. Uppercut Barbershop.
Mr. Professional.
Mr. Professional is his name. I
think he's in Margate.
Is it Margate or Tamarack? I know he moved. So he's in Margate now? All right. So check him out. Look for Alex. Tell him that you want a really nice fade, but you don't want to get kicked in the face. Go on.
You know, we are training on this Sunday, you know, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was his fault or my fault. It happens, you know. We training, it happens, you know. And I got kicked right in the eyeball.
Right in the eyeball? Like heel, toe, like bottom of the foot?
I think was the heel in my eyeball. I don't know what he was trying to do.
That's like a Wednesday rolling with flow. That's not that big of a deal.
I don't know if he's trying to do some capoeira, whatever he's trying to do. All I know, I saw this flying foot, you know, around my eye.
All right.
You know, and it looks very funny, and I have to skip class for a couple of days.
Oh, did you have a nice black eye?
Yeah, it got all swollen. No, it didn't turn black. But it was all swollen, and then I finally go to class with my eyes are still a little bit, you know, and I have to endure the jokes the professor was doing the whole class. You know, it's like, you know, everything was about something about the eye, you know, and he would wink at me, you know, in the middle of the class. You know what I mean? Nice. You know, so this is I guess that's one of the craziest, you know.
Okay. Junior, we didn't answer this question, so go ahead.
Craziest thing, man. I can't. No, you put me on the spot. Craziest thing.
I feel like everybody's answer is going to be geared towards
busted my lip, injuries, torn ACLs, meniscus.
There you go. Right, you talked about that before, right? I think it was the same guy that hurt your leg, hurt Drew.
Yeah, right? We talked about that on Drew's episode.
Yeah, when Drew was on.
But the craziest thing, I really can't. Probably unexpected promotions. Like, hey, you're getting promoted. Like, oh shit, today? Really?
Surprise.
Your black belt was like that, right? You didn't know.
No,
I don't think you really knew.
Maybe
you were getting that one?
No, I think I got my brown belt in a year after getting my purple belt.
Yeah.
But at that time, we were training really hard. Training probably 5 days a week, 2 times a day.
Okay.
And again, you know, if you want to get promoted, I think that's the best way.
So you're saying you were purple for a year?
Yeah.
And then
I got my brown belt.
All right, cool.
But trained, 2 times a day, 5 days a week.
I'll take it.
Early morning, late nights. Yeah.
Janet, craziest thing?
I know
you know where my mind went, but you can use whatever you want. I mean,
well,
it's a not question. We're trying to figure out these solid 3 to 4 questions that we want to ask.
I'll tell my story. It's a classic here. Get ready for it. Yeah. Well, first off, let me just say, Alex might kick you in the eye with a heel, but Flo, you're going to get a toe in the mouth.
Oh, man. Oh, there you go.
Oh, my God. I got a toe in the mouth this morning, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And we talked about Nelly Furtado, too, right?
Okay.
Oh, God.
What is that?
Nelly Furtado?
What is that?
Promiscuous girl?
Let me tell you, if you're listening, you've got promiscuous toes.
Oh.
I don't like it.
I didn't know where this is going.
You know, like when you're in a butterfly, and your toes are like...
We don't have a podcast lawyer. I don't want to offend anybody.
That'll wake you up at 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Listen, Flo is responsible for... I think maybe 3 of the black eyes that I've gotten, or really bad elbows. She's responsible for almost all of my eye-based injuries. So
I love you, Flo.
Yeah, we all do. Flo. We all love you.
I did get.
So let's hear that story, Janet.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I was a white belt.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, and we're not mentioning any names because it doesn't really matter. But I'm being taught a position from north-south with a fella.
Oh boy, that's not the one that I was thinking.
I know it's not.
No, I didn't even know this one.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
He was north-south, right here.
Yeah.
I was getting
junk on the head, junk on the forehead,
God.
huh? Oh.
And it wouldn't stop. So I tried to go to this side because he had a shit sandwich before class, and he was talking. So it was here and here, so I'd go to the other side, and he'd just follow.
That definitely wasn't me.
Continued. No, it wasn't you.
I'm not trying to think back.
That was the worst, though.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't recommend that, guys.
My story for you was going to be the one with the new guy, the big CrossFit dude. you pulled him into your garden and grabbed your boobs. I thought that would have been the one. We talked about that one here before.
He used little what I have to help himself out.
Because farting's not. That's not the worst thing.
Fart is
normal.
I tell you though, it just depends on who does it and how it's done. If you're just rolling in it happens, it happens.
Try to oop out too hard, too fast.
But there's some other, especially like in the kids' class.
You will know if someone is being inappropriate or if it's a legit, mistake.
Yeah.
You know.
Or when you accidentally roll into that shit smell, somebody crop dusted.
I've been in somebody's not a north south, but what do you just? It was a Kimura, like sitting on your head, the Kimura.
I hate that.
From the top there. No, but he was unclean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, swamp ass.
Yeah. I was like, man, somebody definitely.
We should talk about that. I take a shower before
I take a shower before I go training whenever I can.
I do too.
Half because I want to be. If I wait, I take a shower in the morning no matter what. So I'm showering. Definitely before class on a weekend, even if it's early.
But not everybody has that opportunity.
But it wakes me up. So like when I come home from work, sometimes if I can't like get a quick 15-20 minute nap. Shit, man! I'll jump in the shower. Water wakes me up, and I get to class.
Say a nap?
Naps are key.
What?
Naps are very healthy for you. Don't sleep on naps. Not no pun intended.
Yeah. Like a siesta.
Look, I worked from home for years, and I would work like from 9 to maybe 2 or 3. I would work 9, eat lunch, go back to work, and then around 3:30, I would nap every single day. And then I go back and work another 4 or 5 hours. So I put in a really long work day. But that nap, my body got so programmed to that nap that when I started working for somebody else again, and that 9 to 5, very difficult.
So
that 3:30, man, I'm ready for the nap.
What time?
But around 3:30. 3:30 nap, right? That's a good time.
It's an old people
so
thing.
if I get home at 5:30 from work, I'll get home 5:30, 6 o'clock. Class starts at 7:30. I try to get a little half hour nap in. It's good. I wake up again, a little water on the face, maybe jump in the shower, and off to class. It's great. I mean, I feel like I can, work another 8 hours if I had to. But I think that's a huge. To be honest, if I don't get the nap, those are the days that I miss class a lot. I'm just so tired. The training just winds up being so. But I'll go the next day. My schedule is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm still getting in 3 to 4 days.
That's good. That's
These
healthy.
days, I hurt my neck rolling with you. I found out about the bulging disc, little arthritis. All that happened at the same time. So
I do remember that neck. Yes.
So this last couple of months, it's been probably more 2 to 3.
Yeah.
But definitely the open mats, I'll go in because I can control myself. I'm not doing some crazy drills or anything and forced to do something that you don't want to not do the drill or stand on the side. So at least for the most part on Saturday and Sunday, usually going right into it depends. Once in a while we'll work on a move, but for the most part,
someone has been avoiding Monday classes. Not saying any names. Because of all the crazy warm ups.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know who he's talking about. He's not talking about me.
I know he's not talking about me.
Let me get him.
Who are you talking about?
I want to remember this moment because I'm going to make him pay for it if he's calling
but
me.
I think every gym has that. Every gym has the warm-up skipper.
Yeah.
I don't skip warm-ups. If I go to the gym, I'm doing the warm-ups.
I'm not saying that.
Monday, Wednesday is definitely tough. The warm-ups are tough. Mm-hmm. It's definitely tough. I think you're saying that I avoid Mondays because of the warm-up?
No, I didn't say your name here at all.
Okay.
What's Monday's warm up?
Son of a bitch. Yes, son of a bitch. If I go I usually go I always put Tuesday? A day between training. But if I go Saturday and Sunday, I can't go Monday. If I go Saturday and Sunday, especially open mats
Monday
and a little bit longer, there's no way to go to Monday. If I go Monday, I can't even get out of bed. Don't forget about pushing me out of bed.
It's a lot of talk for somebody who doesn't train very often.
Oh,
no. I'm just saying.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to end right there.
But when I go, I always go on Mondays.
No, you went one Monday like the last 2 months.
That's a meme. That's a meme. And when I go, I roll on Mondays. I show up early on Mondays.
I don't always roll.
But when I roll,
it's on a Monday.
on Mondays.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna just go through, we'll close out real quick. So don't forget about Patreon. Patreon.com/Jiu Jitsu Dummies. Enter our patron system, and you're going to be entered automatically
Support
into
the show.
a $100 raffle every month. One winner is going to get $100 worth of product every single month, whether it's from our podcast store or our sponsors. We're going to be giving a lot of stuff away. The Jiu Jitsu Dummies Foundation is here. You'll be able, by the time this episode is out, you'll be able to donate directly to the foundation. You can donate to our GoFundMe. Half will go to the podcast, half will go to the foundation. And you can find the foundation on IG, on Instagram at the JJD Foundation, or on Twitter at the JJ Dummies FDN. Sorry that it gets so complicated, but there's limited names available when you're trying to pick a handle. The GoFundMe, again, link in the bio, link in the description on either the podcast or the YouTube video. But click on the GoFundMe link, or just go to GoFundMe and search Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast, a variation of Jiu Jitsu Dummies. You'll find us. Big shout outs to Ospop BJJ. Their handle on Instagram is Ospop BJJ. On Twitter, it's Ospop. Check them out. One of the questions we answered today, they're going to get a free shirt. Fight Back CBD. Justin, we love you.
Fight Back CBD.
Thank you for everything you've done for the show, the intros, the people we've met. Incredible. Everybody, go to fightbackcbd.com. We haven't talked about it in a while. He is somebody who is helping people find BJJ, people with past addictions, right? He's helping them find BJJ, and he's helping pay for their training. Gets them a gi, pays for training. He leads people to jiu-jitsu. So, we're honestly, a lot of what we're doing, he's one of the guys that has paved the way for guys like us, along with Mission 22, these organizations that are helping people find jiu-jitsu. Ultimately, at the end of the day, if we could just, help with that just a little bit, it'll be great. So again, fightbackcbd.com, code JJD at checkout will get you 15% off.
Our newest
sponsor. And I definitely want you guys, everybody, take home a tin. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm using both the gel in the bottle and the tin. It's the same gel. One's just there's a little bit more in the bottle. I want you all to please report back next time we're all together.
Yes.
If we're not together at the same time, just when you guys come back at whatever episodes you're a part of, let us know how it goes. It's meant for the hands, but it's also, different muscles, different parts of the body. Let us know what you used it for and how it worked out for you. Barebone USA on Instagram. and you can go to bareboneusa.com and get, again, 10% off with coupon code JJD. Okay, most of our sponsors are using JJD as the coupon code. Choke Responsibly is now jujitsudummies.shop. It is the podcast store shop, or the podcast shop. You can go to our website at jujitsudummies.com, click on the shop tab, and get 10% off with coupon code DummiesPod10. All right. So that's all the house cleaning. Shout out to our podcast patrons currently. We'd love to shout you guys out. So get on Patreon, join us. CJ Carroll, Mission 22, Chuck Red Door, James Fisher, our newest Damian Soto. Thank you all for pledging money and being part of this. I can't wait to be posting about one of you guys winning $100. But please get in there. Gemma. Larry Goff and Gemma, thank you guys so much for listening. We love you guys. Send questions, post, let us know, tell us more about your journey, Gemma. Tag us in pictures, send us direct messages. We love to hear from you guys.
Mm-hmm. Let us know what you've been doing.
Yeah, awesome. Let us know if our advice is working for you. Anything else, guys? We're good.
I just want to say it's good to be back. I want to congratulate you for everything you have accomplished, because
thank you,
I took a month off and I come back and it's so much going on right now.
I laid brick. I laid this wonderful brick all by myself, by hand.
I'm telling
help.
You.
I listen. I appreciate this. I love this. I mentioned it before. I am in the marketing industry. I consider myself a marketing exec. It sounds a little weird to say it when I hear myself say it. I help companies get found. We build websites. We do graphics. A lot of the things that I've been able to do here for the show, I'm not going to say it's easy, but this is what I do during the day. So it's really great to be able to do it for myself, for you guys, for the show. me and Bo, the guy behind the camera, we have a long history of doing this kind of stuff together, meaning graphics and web design, and and that's where I got my start. Bo actually built my first company website for free. I would book the business and he'd do the work, and that was our business relationship. So Bo is definitely someone who got me started in this world. But I've gone on to open my own companies and do other stuff. But right now I work for somebody else in the industry. I love my job, and I talk about this podcast when I'm on a sale with somebody at work, telling them what I do for myself and how it's worked for me when they're asking me questions about what they should do for themselves. So I love doing this. I love training. I love talking about it. I love training other people. So, this is my wheelhouse. So I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. But it's only going to get better from here. We've talked about hopefully in 2020, sometime, hopefully like January, February, we're going to move again. We're going to move to a undisclosed location. We're going to move to someplace where we're going to, I don't even want to kind of share. I've shared it with you guys. We don't want to tell everybody yet.
No secrets yet?
But no, you maybe guys know. You guys
positions,
know. Yeah, there might be a little mat space in the next studio. We're really going to change the game in the way that podcasts are being done. And, it's only going to get bigger and better. So stick with me, guys. I appreciate you all. I love you guys all for doing this. Just so everybody knows, they take time out to do this. I think because they love jiu-jitsu. They're not getting paid for this. Unfortunately, I wish I could be paying everybody, but you guys are doing this, and you're helping me build something that's really cool. So thank you guys so much for all of this, and
for sure,
I appreciate you guys, man.
Awesome.
So thank you you everyone out there for listening. But what do they got to do? What do we got? What do they got to do?
Like.
No.
Subscribe.
Yeah, of course.
Leave
that's
a comment.
A given. Yeah, of course. Like, follow us. So that's not what I was talking about, but thank you for reminding me. You can find us on Instagram at Jiu Jitsu Dummies, on Twitter at Jiu Jitsu Dummies. We talked about all the foundation stuff, but you can find us everywhere at Jiu Jitsu Dummies, jiu-jitsudummies.com.
Oh, I remember now.
Send questions to info@jiu-jitsudummies.com if you're not able to get it to get on social media for whatever reason, if you're living in a cave. But
wash your gi, don't wash your belt.
No, you got to wash your gi and your belt stinky. All right? Go train, everybody. Thank you, guys. Love you.
Oh, happy holidays.